What's up, guys? It's Emperor Luku with another tips, tricks, and strategy videos for all your strategy game needs. And today I'm going to talk about Skarsnik on the Mortal Empires map. As you can see, it's loaded up here, and I will talk about some things for those who are still playing Warhammer 1. I'll show what it looks like at the end of Warhammer 1, and I'll probably do a part 2 to Skarsnik. This is just to go over some things for the people who are having a hard time with him. Now, number one thing, you want to go through all of these skills and look for anything that upgrades the ambush ability, the squigs, or, whatever, the poison dip and whatever. But also, where are we here? Right here. Anything that upgrades the goblins and the night goblins, anything like that. There's a few more things down here. This will bring your goblins up. There's a few other things. There's some other things for ambushing down here. Let's see if I can find it. There you go. Ambush success chance. Right here's another good one. Upkeep for all your units, and then here's another upkeep, and that's usually what I focus on. Anything that has to do with upgrading my goblins, ambush success chance, and my upkeep. Now, normally in this situation, him being a halberd infantry, I'd focus a lot of my stuff right here in the offensive and defensive capabilities of the Lord and turn him into a tank. But right off the bat, I don't do that. I actually focus on any of the abilities that are going to, again, upgrade my goblins, especially because you can really make them OP with Skarsnik. The upkeep cost and the ambushing percentage, because ambushes, if you're able to let off those ambushes, that's going to give you a major advantage with weak little goblins that aren't going to be so weak if you're, going along and getting the goblin skills. And then, I'll throw some skills into him himself so he's not, so puny himself. Also, I don't want to forget this reinforcement range by 35%, also very important. Now, to complement those skills, you can go up in here, get anything, again, that reports to goblins. This is for goblins. This will help with goblins. That's for orcs. You don't care about that. This will go for the goblins. I believe there's something else down here. That's for goblins. Things of that nature. And then you can go in and you can, get all the other little things that will, help your army overall, like the, replenishment rate, obedience, things of that nature. But with the skills, the lord effects or faction effects, and the research, combine all that stuff together, you're going to have such OP units, it's not even funny. And it kind of is funny because they're goblins. Now, as far as buildings go, that depends on what type of unit you're going to put in besides goblins. A lot of people will, they'll definitely say, oh, you need trolls, you definitely need trolls. And then now, in Warhammer 1, I don't think the trolls make that big of a difference. Obviously, having one of these big babies in your, big spiders in your roster is going to be very helpful. You can get some upgrades for the squigs and make them more powerful. That's going to help. As far as the trolls go, again, for Warhammer 1, Warhammer 2, on the other hand, having all these different varieties of trolls instead of just the basic trolls, that's going to make a big difference. Get a couple of each, maybe something like that, spread them out throughout your armies. You definitely want the doom dive catapults. I usually, honestly, sometimes I don't even get to that point. I just get a lot of, goblin rock lobbers. Well, not a lot, but I put like 2 in. Switch out your artillery as you upgrade your buildings. As far as the rogue idol goes, I actually don't use that with Skarsnik. Not to say he's bad or anything like that, but I don't really use him too often. And then, the basic things that I already go over for for all factions, which I'll go over that stuff in my first video, which will be in a link in the description below, which is part of a playlist of just overall strategies that I use for every faction. And if you guys aren't aware and you didn't pay attention, these are the effects. Okay, so you got your upkeep and recruitment costs already. Okay, you got a chance to get Doom Divers in your waaghh. This may be a little different for Warhammer 1. And then obviously you have a special building in Karak 8 Peaks. Now, as far as diplomatic relations go, at the start, you know, I don't even bother with any of this crap. I might sometimes, if I can get these guys to be start to like me, I might get the Wood Elves off my back and get like a non-aggression pack or something like that. But really, what I focus on is when I move north, and number 2, you have orcs here too. I try to get these orcs under my wing, and then as I'm moving south, the only other people I try to get good relations with are usually orcs. Maybe, there's been times where I've been able to get other factions cool. I wouldn't recommend paying attention to that because it's bit me in the ass. But Wood Elves can be decent. You know what I mean? If you don't have to worry about the Wood Elves while you're consolidating this little mountain region here, especially in Warhammer 1, because you can't really move out of the mountains, it's pretty beneficial. But don't be paying them or anything like that. If they become cool with you, they become cool with you. Other than that, just focus on other greenskins. Now, this is where things differentiate for Warhammer 1 and 2, and that's as how I expand. For Warhammer 1, I move north, then south, and I move along these lines. Actually, I forgot I had this. I move north, then I move south, then I move, that would be west, that would be east, that'd be east. Oops, sorry guys, everybody's like, this guy's an idiot. Then I move south again, then I move east again, then south again, then north. That's literally how I do it. That's how it's always worked for me. But with Warhammer 2, it's a big difference because I can expand differently. And this all depends on, this is what I do with Skarsnik. I go into the diplomatic settings, I go to strength rank, and I look for, first of all, I take out whoever's already enemies with me, okay? So, these guys are my first targets. These are, well, not the mutinous gets because they're all the way down there. But these two are my first targets. I aim to get them out of the way. And if anybody declares war with me while I'm in the process of getting rid of these two, then that's who I kind of focus on with Warhammer 2. I just go based upon who I'm fighting in order. And I take out whoever's the weakest. If I'm not at war with anybody, I build my strength up, then I go into strength rank, and I find who's close to me that is the weakest. And by weakest, I mean has least amount of settlements and no relations. Okay, relations are a big one because I don't want to jump in multiple wars with multiple different factions. Okay, and I kind of just pick people off, the weaker people around me with Skarsnik, and I get sneaky. Okay, and if they ask for a peace treaty, I always do a peace treaty, especially with Skarsnik, because I can build up my troops again, fortify my areas, maybe take somebody else out who's a little weaker at that point, and then go back when the peace treaty's over with, and I won't get any penalties. I will attack them again. A lot of people will say start with Bretonnia first. A lot of people will say start with Empire first. It's not how I do it. I go with whoever's kind of the weakest around me. Now, if they're greenskins, of course, I'm going to try to get them under my wing. And if they're Wood Elves, I don't start a war with them. I let them start a war with me. If they don't start a war with me, I try to get cool with them because that's just one less person to deal with later on. And Wood Elves are pretty good with keeping it, cool. As far as the humans, I never ever, them and the dwarves, I never ever, and the high elves ever try to be friendly with them under any circumstances, and nothing that's going to give me any type of corruption. So that goes with Skaven, vampires, anything chaos related, because being cool with them, yeah, cool, I don't got to deal with them, but I still have to deal with the corruption. So that's pretty much how I go in that route. Now I'm going to do another video on Skarsnik in depth. I'm going to jump over to the Warhammer 1 map just to kind of show you what I was doing there. But that's pretty much it. for this video. There is going to be some more things. I'm going to go into depth of waaghh and stuff like that. One thing for sure, when you do pop a waaghh, it if you're on the offense and you're already at war with somebody, it's cool to just keep them with you and just tag team everything together. You have your waaghh following you around. Sometimes it might be good if you have other, armies around you, other stacks around you, to let them go off and get something weak and then come back to you. But sometimes it's safer to just keep them with you. Don't let your waaghs go to waste. Keep them busy. Obviously, you always want to be you never want to just be standing there. You always want to be on the edge of somebody's territory, and you want to be in raiding camp. Always, always, always. Never have them, waiting around. Always raiding camp. Always in somebody's territory. You're going to be building your waaghh and keeping your obedience up and all that fun stuff, as well as getting a little money. So I'm going to jump over to Warhammer 1 map. Alright, so this would be Warhammer 1. And as you can see by the territory I've taken, at this point, I have my mountainous region, okay? And then I've obviously gotten the south, and now I was on my way moving north. Eventually come across, get the dwarven area that's right over here, take it from Wintertooth. And the reason why it's got to look like this is because I can't take these territories in Warhammer 1. But the Wood Elves had to go in this one because they, just didn't, stay in line. You can see I've got one guy here, one guy here. That's kind of protecting my north. I don't really have anybody up in here, which is dangerous. As you can see, I got like multiple guys here. Got a guy here, got a guy here, got a guy here, got a guy here. They're just going to rip through the north. I'm going to take some of these guys and move them back through here. The only reason why I had to bring these guys who were up in here over here is because, Ungrim would just not let go of Zufbar. Pretty much the same thing happened here. It was a fight and a half. But this pretty much is how it should look in Warhammer 1 if you're doing it correctly. Again, I went north first. I got these guys under my wing. Then I moved south. Took all this crap for myself. Moved this way. And as I moved here, started to get, other greenskins cool here and slowly start to get them under my banner. And I kind of just moved this way. I took this whole region first, and then I skipped. Actually, I didn't even go over to this area. I kind of just went this way and came back up. Bam, bam, bam. Brought my guy over here at the same time, and now I'm working on moving up here. But that's all I'm going to put in this video, guys. I hope you like it. I hope you subscribe. It's very basic. It's very simple. It's just to briefly go over, what goes on with Skarsnik, because, I see a lot of people they're trying to make orc armies. It's best to just stick to goblins. They're all over the place. They're trying to expand in weird ways. I just wanted to get a basic video out there just to help people instead of you having to read a bunch of stuff on Reddit, and keep it as simple as possible and as quick as possible. Hope you guys like it. Subscribe. Until next time, thank you.